Well, and recently, the federal government handed over the National Theatre and the surrounding hectares of land to the Central Bank of Nigeria's Bankers Committee for restoration, refurbishment and all that. The aim is to create millions of jobs for youths in the country and in the long run, diversifying the country's economy. According to the CBN, the country has the potential to earn $20 billion annually from the creative industry when the edifice is renovated. The National Theatre will now focus into 4 basic sections. We'll have the information technology, music, film, and fashion.
A diversified economy that supports increased productivity in agriculture, manufacturing sectors, while harnessing at the same time the talents of our youth in the creative industries, will lead to the build-up of a more resilient and vibrant economy that is better able to withstand external shocks while creating wealth and jobs for our growing population. With our national capital resources, human capital resources, and an enabling environment that will help harness the creative talents of our youths, Nigeria has the potential to earn over $20 billion annually from the creative industry.
Phase 1 is to restore and upgrade the National Theatre to its glory days, while Phase 2 will be the development of the fallow land within the premises of the edifice. Another good news is that this project would not lead to a single job loss.
I have joining me now live from our Abuja studios, the Director Corporate Communications of the CBN, Mr. Isaac Okorafor. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Okorafor.
Thank you, Tolu, for having me.
All right, I'm going to say finally the National Theatre has been handed over. Well, we saw the process in Lagos to the Bankers Committee, and 25 billion naira is already earmarked for this process. Take us through what Nigerians should expect with this great development.
Well, thank you. First of all, the Creative Industry Financing Initiative is a product of the collaboration, cooperation, and co-responsibility spirit that exists between the central bank and the bankers. And the plan aims at exploiting and harnessing the creative spirit of the Nigerian youth. Don't forget that out of the 200-strong population of Nigeria, 60% of them are below 35 years. And they have such a huge endowment that has led us to dominate the whole of Africa in music, in movie, in IT software, and in fashion. And so those 4 parallels are verticals, define exactly the structure of this arrangement, such that Nigerians, young Nigerians, enterprising and dynamic, who want to go into these 4 verticals can obtain financing very easily, and then all the other technical support that they need to be able to earn a living and also pull the economy into self-sustaining growth.
Sounds very, very good. But finally, there's supposed to be an hotel, and we're going to be divided into 4 sectors. ICT is involved now, music, then we have film and fashion. It really will create jobs if we got to break it down. 20 billion naira, $20 billion a year, according to the CBN Governor, can be generated potentially from this theater.
Yes. Yes. That's the aim. Remember, India makes over $240 billion from IT and related services.
Wow.
So our aim is that there are a whole lot of Nigerians who are so creative, who are very good software engineers, and even some of them didn't go to school, and that is why didn't go to universities. And that is why we have also lowered even the the qualification for the loan, to, if you have a school cert and you have a demonstrable gift and talent in software development, you'll be part of it. So the plan is to be able to provide first an environment to enable these people unleash their creative skills. The National Theatre provides the key hub for all these plans. Now, the National Theatre is going to, but the main goal of the National Theatre is going to be developed, the TV, the movie rooms, and all the other conference rooms. The entire structure is going to be refurbished and made to look modern. In addition to that, on these 4 verticals, there will be special areas. There will be areas for fashion, autonomous on its own. There will be areas for IT development. There will be area for music. There will be a film academy. And the import of this is that each of these verticals can gain from the synergy that weaves them together. The arrangement will also provide them the best hands in terms of training, in terms of honing their raw skills into what you can obtain anywhere in the world. And the financing will be made available. For instance, those who are getting into software engineering can get as much as 3 million in 3 years to be paid back in 3 years. Those who are going to movie production can get 30 million to be paid back in 10 years, as much as 10 years. Those into movie distribution can get as much as 500 million naira to be paid back in 10 years. These are provided such that the glitches, the impediments to growth of movie, music, software, and fashion can be released, and so that their creative energies can be unleashed into making sure that our economy is propelled into self-sustaining growth.
Now, let's now look at the cooperation you've also seen with the Ministry of Information, the Lagos State government. We see everybody coming together here now to make this a reality. What more are you expecting from the state government and also from the ministry to make this work?
Well, both the Ministry of Information and Culture and the Lagos State government have been fantastic in this. First, the minister himself worked very hard to ensure approval, that we got approval from the federal government to use this facility. The Lagos State government actually gave additional space for all this whole plan to be laid out. And the governor of Lagos State has been very, very prominent in ensuring that this project goes on unperturbed. You can see just by the National Theatre, there's a huge train station. As if our people would say that the palm fruit has fallen into its own oil. So already there are takeoff conditions that are very favorable to the project. Now, if you look at the entire National Art Theatre environment, it's so polluted, it's so disorganized. Now, part of the plan is to ensure that that whole place is renewed and made beautiful. In the next 18 months, I believe that people passing through there will not recognize that place again, because even the flooding that is happening there will be channeled properly. The entire edifice, which is one of the best in the world, that whole edifice will be made anew, so that Nigerians will say, yes, we are proud to have this as one of our national structures.
Indeed. Moving a little away from the creative industry now, let's beam our searchlight on various interventions provided by the Central Bank of Nigeria at this very critical time. So we talk of COVID-19 and what's happening globally. Now tell us some of them, how well the CBN has fared. We've seen funds for MSMEs, small businesses, households, a lot of that. We can go on and on. But tell us more about what's been happening.
Well, of course, you know that COVID-19 has devastated the entire world economy. So many countries are really under recession and economic hardships. Here in Nigeria, as soon as it happened, the CBN became very proactive. We announced quite a lot of measures, stimulus packages to cushion the impact, the negative impacts of this pandemic. First, we announced the 50 billion targeted credit facility to households and small businesses so that after the entire lockdown, they could come back to what they were doing before and not stay at home trying to eke at a living. Out of the 50 billion, of course, you know that it has been virtually exhausted. We have reached 92,000 households and small businesses, giving them loans to restart their businesses that have been devastated. Well, there is a decision will soon be taken on whether to add to that, because there is also pent-up demand for those who have applied. I'm sure that management will make the announcement at the appropriate time. There is also the 100 billion healthcare facility for pharmaceutical firms, for hospitals, trying to also rise up to the challenge of the COVID-19. Out of that, about 26 billion of that has been also expended in about 20 projects. And more applications are coming and are being processed and considered and processed. We also had the 1 trillion facility for manufacturing and agriculture, trying to bring them up, support them to bounce back into production. And about 300 billion of that has also been taken. Now, for the Creative Industry Financing Initiative, so far 169 projects have been funded to the tune of 1.5 billion, roughly about 5% of that. So with time, we expect that more applications for loans are coming. And I want to let Nigerians know this. These are loans, they are not grants. They are not palliatives that will not be paid back. These are loans that will be paid back. And we have the details of those who have been given the loans. They really have to pay them back at the appropriate time. And we also have the ACMIS, under our Agric Small Medium Enterprise Investment Scheme. We have spent over 41 billion. We have accelerated disbursements to people in view of the impact of COVID-19. And over 11,600 people, firms, small businesses have also benefited from that. And it goes on. We are determined to ensure that the impact of the CBN is determined to ensure that the impact of COVID-19 does not drive the economy into recession. And God willing, and with determination on our side and the cooperation of all Nigerians, our economy will bounce back. It's wounded like every other economy, but there's need for us to quickly rise from the ashes of this COVID-19 and then begin our march towards economic growth and development.
We've seen a people-focused central bank. I must agree with you. But some people are also asking, how easy is it for them to also access some of these loans? Some till today still don't understand. Maybe a few more shedding the light on how they could go over the process could also help Nigerians.
Okay. Initially, most of our loans we are not permitted. We are not allowed by law to disburse money directly to individuals. What we have done has been to go through the banks. People have expressed difficulty, experienced the difficulty trying to access our loans through the banks. That is why for this COVID-19, the targeted credit facility, we have used the NISA Microfinance Bank, and the applications are online. You don't need to see anybody. You upload all your documents and your credentials, and those are considered on their merit, and your account is credited. That is what we have tried to do to eliminate some of those hiccups that have to do with assessing our loans. But there are also issues that have to do with the system and the applicants themselves. Most people do not keep an account. They don't even maintain an account. They don't service the accounts in banks. And as soon as they see us announcing a loan program, they rush, they want to take a loan. Meanwhile, the accounts have not been functioning. So no bank will give you a loan through an account that is not run. So that's one. Some of our people don't even keep records. If you don't keep records, especially small businesses, if you don't keep records, it is difficult for a banker to assess your ability to pay back the loans. If you do not have a culture of having to make money, bring it to bank, spend it from the bank, bring another one, it has to roll. The engine of the account has to roll for people to be able to assess you as a good credit. Those are some of it. And some expect that the loans will just be given to them as grant. The CBN does not give grants, except in very rare cases like the healthcare research and the vaccine grant that we are championing at this time. Nigerians should understand that you have to have an account and you have to be able to keep records to convince banks that, yes, I'm capable of paying back a loan before you apply for a loan, before a loan is approved for you. Most of our people don't do that. And we are trying on our side to educate Nigerians through sensitization across the country to be able to understand what their own role as customers should be, and those who are as borrowers, what their roles should be, and that every loan is once it is due, must be paid back.
Indeed. I must thank you very much. As much time can take there. Director, Corporate Communications of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Isaac Okorafor. Thank you for spending your time with us to talk to us on Business Nigeria today.